Well, hey, we're back here again. Hey, look, we got matching t-shirt. Hey, we got matching shirts here, haven't we?
Look at us. Yeah,
Got,
we're almost twins.
matching self-management, supported self-management t-shirts,
Yes,
polo
sir.
polo shirts. Hey, Keith,
Yep.
this week I was listening to Dave Dave Butler
Yeah.
from
Yep.
Australia,
Yep.
and he's doing a little bit of a promo about an event they're doing up in Manchester in June. But
Hmm.
anyway, I was listening to it when where I was, I'll have a coffee, and he was using, he's apparently now they're focusing, he really wanted to focus on this webinar he was doing with Joanna Taylor
Hmm.
about the work he's doing now, with how nature can help people with their persistent pain, etc. And
Hmm.
I thought, boy, oh boy, I mean, listen, this is not new news. It's pretty
No.
much it's pretty not old news either, but how healthcare professionals now are using nature as a way of helping people with their health needs, etc. And I think I remembered we talked about this last year, where just by accident I heard about a Japanese doctor who, instead of prescribing medication, was actually
Hmm.
prescribing nature prescription, where you're
Hmm.
saying to the patient, get out there, Hey,
Yeah.
listen, what's your take on it?
Fully agree. And something that I think is it's a real missed opportunity by the healthcare system in general, and then those of us who live with pain. We're just often we don't think that that's a viable solution, but it absolutely is. You and I are fortunate where we live that nature surrounds us,
Yeah,
and we have that ability. But we know anecdotally we can share our experiences and others, and I know there's research out there. I can't quote it right now, but that when people sort of step out of their life for a period of time and just get into nature, that it does have a positive
yeah,
effect on their experience of their pain. So
yeah.
I think it's a great idea. Some people might look at their healthcare provider like a little sideways, but try it, do it. It's you will be surprised at the positive impact it can have.
Yeah. As you say, we're both pretty lucky that we got nature's on our doorstep, really, haven't we? But we both live near uh, rivers, etc., and
Mhm.
also got not I was call it a forest, but well, yeah, I suppose it's like a mini forest that gets up the road, which I often walk around, and so I'm out there in nature listening to the birds, especially this time of
Mhm.
year, and
Yeah,
I always feel more uplifted uh, when I'm out there, I'm thinking about stuff and sorting things out in the filing cabinet up in my brain
yeah,
and whatnot.
yeah, yeah. For the nerds like me, and I'm going to take just a few seconds for the few people who are nerdy like me will listen to it. The science behind it is pain is what we call a sympathetic nervous response. That's your fight or flight, right? So when you're in pain, that's that stress, like you're up. So think about it. When you're constantly under stress because you're pain, you're stressed and your pain gets worse. It's this feedback loop. You're caught into that. You get out into nature, it gives you that opportunity to just relax and breathe, and it moves you from biologically sympathetic to parasympathetic, and that's that rest and relax. So there's science behind it. Now, for the people who don't care about the science, it's just good for you. It makes you feel good. You relax, you clear your mind, you breathe easier, and your pain just seems to take a step back. So there is a biological reason behind it, but what's more important is it's good for you and it makes you feel better. So
I think I can hear people watching this or listening to this on the SoundCloud. Yeah, it sounds great, guys. You live by a river, you got
yes,
forest nearby. I live,
yes,
I live 20 stories up in a high rise.
yeah,
What about me? Oh, I can't get down there. I live in a city. I mean, I
yeah,
haven't got a river by.
yeah.
But I think there's other things we can suggest, things like indoor gardens and stuff like that. Perhaps if you've got a balcony, about growing things on the balcony. Uh,
Hmm.
I mean, there's lots of. I mean, I did a post on it this week actually because of that. Dave's podcast really rekindled my nature drum, as they call it, like, you know. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I posted something on the self-management page, website about it, and about using indoor gardens, especially in the winter as well. If you've got some foliage around you, something like that. I mean, I've got indoor plants here as well that I'd have to tender and look after, etc.
Hmm.
So it's about working it out and getting it, learning about how, what plants they are. And I mean, this week I've been busy in my little garden. I haven't got a big garden, but I've been growing tomatoes from seed,
Hmm.
and also, but just to make sure I covered all a few bases. So I bought a few tomato plants from the nursery, but
Right.
I've been planting tomato plants, cucumber and
Hmm.
courgettes, So
Yeah.
I've been out bits. So I've been in about there. But to me, when I'm out there, I'm in another world. I'm not thinking about pain management. I'm not thinking about my long-term conditions. I'm just
Yeah.
out there listening to what's going on with nature, listening to the birds. I've got some bird feeders, so the little birdies
Hmm.
this time of year. I think the young are still, they're being fed by the adults, etc. So
Hmm.
watching them come into the garden and feeding. So,
Yep.
and all that sort of stuff. To me, I personally, I find that quite interesting.
Yeah, there's just I think I would say a lot of people, and I would even dare say most, nature is just grounding. Like you say, being in tune with something that you've grown, there's a real satisfaction to say, I did this, especially if it's food that you grow and then you can, you bring into your home.
Yeah,
Just seeing nature around you. Great point about people who live in the big cities. I love your idea. You can have some plants if you have a balcony, and it's maybe, it's not like going out for a walk in the forest, but it's connecting with nature. We Other options are in the UK. You told me earlier they're called allotments. Here in Canada,
yeah,
they call them community gardens, where the
that's it.
municipality says, "Here's some vacant land," and people come together and
Yeah,
they grow food. So you get social connection, you get nature. There's community parks. If you don't have the forest around you like I do, at least there's some green space. You might have to put a little effort into it to find what works, but there should be something to allow you to connect to nature because
yeah,
it is all around us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the allotments. I think they've been around. I don't know. I've just not. I've been around since longer than I've been alive.
Right.
We've got two here. We've got one just, I'm pointing down here, which no one will know, well, where the hell's that? But
Yeah.
I mean, I've got another one up the road, and
Yeah.
one of my next door neighbours, Simone, she's just taken over an allotment up that way. And I saw her the other day, and she's I'm really, really loving it.
Nice.
She's it's like getting off of life's conveyor belt sort of thing. She's out there with nature, listening to stuff. Hey, it's called exercise or a meaningful movement, But I reminded her about pacing herself as well,
Absolutely. I think gardening, my wife is a prolific gardener. We're fortunate we have a large yard and she just loves to grow plants and she grows vegetables, but she'll be out there for hours. And the amount of meaningful movement she gets up and down and in the garden and doing this, she comes in and she's got a workout that's more than when I hit the gym, I
Yeah.
swear.
Anyway, listen. Anyway, I hope you found that really useful, and can't think of anything else to add. If you've got any questions at all, just send them in to myself or Keith, and we'll be here to answer them. So I'll see you next week, Keith.
All right. Good talk. Everybody get out in nature.
Yeah, yeah. Get it in the nature. Oh, by the way, yesterday, I don't know if you noticed it, Keith. It was World Get Naked Gardening Day.
Okay, well, consider that carefully when you get out in nature, people. Think about your surroundings.
Yeah, 2nd of May is every year. So you missed this year's, but do it next year.
I'll mark it on my
Good.
calendar.
Take care, dudes. See you
All
soon.
right.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye, everyone.